Hey everybody, it's Dave here, and I figured I went a little bit too early on the scheduling, so I'd go live right now. The Bears just tried a 2-point conversion and failed. That is what we have right now. The score is 27-12, Minnesota Vikings, and hopefully we are live and I did not wait too long. We shall see. Anyways, how are you all doing tonight? It looks like the Vikings are going to be able to go 12-2, which was what we expected, but a whole bunch of sloppy play tonight. Absolutely a whole bunch. And that is a shame because we shouldn't have had that much sloppy play. So many self-inflicted penalties. It is crazy. Hey there, Rhino. How you doing, buddy? Glad to see you and glad you could join me. This is fantastic. Hey, Dave L., how are you doing tonight? Hopefully we have a outstanding game going that we're going to turn out and we're going to win this one. There's no way they can come back. Knock on wood. We were, 99.7? I know we were 99.9 against them before, and they came back and brought us to overtime, but I doubt that's going to happen today. But we shall see. And what a beautiful evening in Minnesota it has been. So, you're doing well, Rhino? Good. Absolutely outstanding. And we get the onside kick attempt, and it is covered by Oliver. Vikings ball, 5:19 left in the fourth quarter. Hey, George, how are you doing this evening? Are you happy to see tonight's game? I'm happy for the results. I'm not quite as happy of how the Vikings have played, but hey, what does our good old buddy Drew Bunting say? Something about hanging off the back end of a cow. Yes. Rhino, I agree. Let's go put up another touchdown. Yes, Cole for life, Barber, my buddy. Yes, pull out the brooms. We're sweeping them this year, which is outstanding. Akers jukes to the left, runs to the middle, gets about 5 yards maybe before he gets stopped. Woo-woo. Second down. And your Minnesota Vikings have the ball approximately at the 49-yard line. No, wrong answer. Make that 37-yard line. 2nd and 5. That's right, Rhino. A win's a win. No matter how pretty or not pretty in this case. But we'll talk about that after we conclude the regular time. Another handoff to Akers. He goes absolutely nowhere. Doesn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Loss of about half a yard. Hey, Raymond, SKOL, how are you doing tonight? Hopefully this is a pleasant evening for everyone, Raymond included. Now, it has been interesting. That I'll give it. Yes, Dave L., the block punt. That was not good. But, hey, it is what it is. Hopefully Mr. Wright is not injured on that one. He was down for a while. I know that. Sam going back, throwing over to Sherfield. Sherfield spins around and gets the first down. Another crappy spot by the officiating crew. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've noticed all night. They've been putting the ball short. At least with the Vikings. I haven't paid that much attention to the Bears, but at least with the Vikings. Putting it short all night long. And boom, that should be a half yard over the yard marker. And they got the first down anyways. SKOL, Jose, how you doing, buddy? Sweep. Yes, missed another horse collar. But they also missed, and there's another ineffective short run, -2 by Akers. Also missed a face mask call that should have been on us earlier in the game. But have they missed the illegal motions and the lining up off sides and the all that? Of course not. Raymond, good game. Good day. Great to watch the game. I know, isn't it? Hey, Sarah, how are you doing tonight? Welcome for joining us. We sit here and we'll go through the final 2 minutes, or in this case, 2 minutes, 26 seconds, counting down. Vikings 2nd and 12. Hand off to Akers again, and he gets maybe a yard. Now we're going to be 3rd and 11. So you can almost bet they're going to throw the ball. And Justin Jefferson's on the sideline with his helmet off. That's okay. He doesn't need to be in there, really. It's not like the game's in danger. I'm doing good, Jose. Doing good. Very, very good. Caleb Williams had his welcome to the NFL moment tonight. That's for sure. Yes, Rhino. Bad officiating, as usual. It has been all season long. Just horrid. What can we do about it? What can the NFL do about it? Maybe hire some guys full-time, have them responsible, fine them if necessary, have them do a press conference after the fact. Something like that. Maybe. Have them doing VR glass stuff so that they could get better at it. But we'll see. We'll see. Hey, George, thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate it. And yes, SKOL to our fellow perps. You got that right. And we're in commercial timeout. We have it's for the Red One movie playing now, which looks interesting. I need to check that out this week with a Hot Wheels product placement in it. I thought that was pretty cool. It's on Prime for those who want to know. Now we got Burger King, and I could use a hot, juicy burger. But it is what it is. All right. While we wait, hey, Bleeding Purple, how you doing tonight? I hope all is well. Team stats. Let's go over a few of these real quick. Time of possession is just about split, with the Bears having it 28-54 and the Vikings 29-06. And that little bit, that nice long drive before all of this mess helped contribute to that. Hey, Chevy. You like being a SKOL fan, and it's December for December. Yes, 12-2, buddy, 12-2. With our destiny in our own hands. That's great. Oh, geez, these guys. Yeah, Phil, I know. Rhino says Red One is pretty good. We had to watch it last week. Well, good to know. Good to know. And Barber extends SKOL to everybody in the chat. SKOL to you, Steve. Hope you're doing well as everybody here. There looks to be smiles in the stadium. That's good. That's good. Most everybody wore white, and it looked like it was a good night. Member of Vikings First and SKOL, Justin Day, is at the game. He's in section 241 watching it. I hope he's having a great time. Hey, Chandler got a rush on that one. Good for him. Yes, Phil, we're winning the game we were favored. And by more than what was predicted. That's good. I said 2 full touchdowns, and we are approximately what? 27 minus 12 is 15 points. The aged one gets another. LDR, please. Yes, Levi Drake Rodriguez would be nice to have in there, but he's not. He was inactive, unfortunately. And we got backups in there. Darnold slapping Dallas Turner's helmet. Wonder what that's about. 4th and 6. I guess we're going to punt. Why not go for it there, KOC? Instead of giving everybody the eyeball. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. Nice to be able to relax during a 2-minute warning for a change. Yes, it is. And speaking of which, I need to hit the roll in real quick. Hey, Duncan, SKOL, and aloha to you too. Welcome to Vikings First and SKOLs, live at the 2-minute warning. Next. And did I blow that one? And we get a Will Reichert field goal to make it 30-12. And Rhino says there was a nudie sighting tonight. I didn't see it. Where was he? Sarah says, so true, so true. Chuck says, SKOL, hello, everyone. Hey, Chuck, hope you are doing well tonight. Everybody with a smile. We are 12-2. We're going to have a Victory Tuesday. Another one. And it's doing great. Phil's doing fantastic. Hey, John, SKOL. Hope you are doing well tonight as well. George says, bleed purple, so true, so true. Obviously, they're not worried. They're having fun on the sidelines. Too evil to hope. Oh, shoot, the Vikings just lost. No, I don't think so, too evil. Phil says, yes, we're happy. Caleb just threw a triple TD. No, he hasn't done it. But boy, is that kid slippery. I got to give him that. He's an escape artist. Rhino, he got in on at least 2 or 3 plays. Yep. Good. I look forward to reading about him. See how he does. Yep, John, 12-2, baby. 12-2. We've almost doubled what Vegas had predicted for us. Yep. Hopefully that'll come soon. And we got a run that gets maybe a yard by the Bears. Incredible performance. I don't know if it was incredible, but I'll take it. I'll take a win. And I don't know if you guys noticed that it seems that, all right, we started out quasi quick. Should have been Jefferson should have had a touchdown if he hadn't dropped the ball. That was, oh my God, look how open I am. I'm going to score, and turn his head to look to run and didn't get it. Badging in. Okay. Too evil. It's not too late to tank. Phil on a big yes. Too evil. I think you're going to talk that way all the way to the Super Bowl. But it is what it is. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it every day. This one wasn't as bad for the heart because Chicago just couldn't produce anything. They're close. They're really, really close, in my opinion. They've got some talented players. It's just they're off a little bit, and I think that will come with coaching. And we'll see where their coaching comes from at the end of the season because they're obviously going to have new coaches. Whether they have a new GM or not, we'll see if that's the case too. Duncan says, kind of lethargic looking game, but they stepped up when they needed to. Yep, I agree. I thought they were sort of off. I don't know if it's the difference in time or what it is, but it sort of looked that way. And we have gone final. Your Minnesota Vikings win 30-12. Vikings win, Vikings win, Vikings win. Yes. Chris says special teams slacking. Well, they didn't do a whole lot today. Weird game. Sam was off a bit. Yeah, I agree. But in 3rd and long, he was outstanding. Yeah, well, because we had tons of 3rds and longs. And we'd get 3rd and short, and then we'd be offsides or illegal motion or something stupid shooting ourselves in the foot. Yes, Caleb's not very accurate. That'll come with time. If you remember the Bills quarterback, Josh Allen, he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn when he first came in, but he fine-tuned it, and now he's a stud. It is what it is. So, SKOL. All right. Pardon me. Your Vikings had 24 first down to 16. Not bad. We had total offensive yards of 329 to 283. We had total drives of 10 to 11 on offense. Not bad, offense and defense. Rushing, we had 114 yards. Passing, we had 215. We were even on the turnovers, and the time of possession was barely favored by the Bears at 30 minutes and 6 seconds. So that's about as even as you can get. When it comes to some box score stats, yeah, Phil, we're semi-tied with Detroit. Yeah, we're behind them right now in the playoff seeding because they beat us. But we have the same record, and it will go down to week 18 if we all win out. So let's see. Losing O'Neal, we are in big trouble, says Biggs. Well, hopefully it's relatively minor. We don't know yet. I haven't heard the status of him, George. Obviously, it's serious enough that he went out again to have it checked, but he, came in and when he first got hurt and had it checked out, says, no, it's good. And he played quite a bit and then came out and then went back in. We'll see. Rumors, Brian Flores and Sam D going to the new team together. That would be smart by whoever GM inherits them, I would think, because at least you have a working relationship there. And I found it interesting tonight that the announcers were talking about how Sam is learning the defense, didn't know all the sides of the defense. And besides Kevin O'Connell and the quarterback guruing stuff, one of the things he's being taught is the defense, what defense responsibilities are, and where to look and where not to look. And that makes it sort of shocking that he's been in the league this long and he has not known that. Obviously, they don't teach it or very rarely teach it in high school or college anymore, which is a shame. I think you'd have a very good head coach that does. Now I'll have to ask KT Smith of the Call Sheet, another Fans First Sports Network favorite on that one, whether he did with his young quarterbacks. But that he's learning it and how to defeat it type of deal. And that's good. Something Zimmer didn't do to the last year with Kirk Cousins. Speaking of which, let's check in over there. Atlanta leads 15-9 with minute 21 left in that game. Big says this game was Flores' audition for the Bears head coach. Could be. I hope he doesn't go there, but could be. I hope he gets blackballed all over the place and he's with us for the next 5 years. I would love that. But who knows? Who knows? Anyways, I need to send out the link real quick. Make sure that Tyler's got it. Now, whether or not we get Darren on the show tonight depends on whether he had a basketball tournament late tonight and whether his opponent showed up. I don't know if he did or not. We are not having Jonas. Jonas, it's like 3:30 in the morning over there. He will not be here. Sal is at the game. She's doing the tailgate thing. And Darren we may not have as well because he's at this basketball tournament. But if they forfeited, he'll get back here and join us. Jason, yes, I agree. That Dallas Turner sack was good. He was the only one that got the sack today. Everybody was so close. Had Caleb Williams in their grasp and he squirts out. He's like an annoying little rat. But it is what it is. And we do have that sometimes. I remember Fran Tarkington used to be that way, and it was glorious. So, it is what it is. Now, let's get back to the scores. Box score. Sam Darnold went 24 for 40, 231 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. Sacks, took 2 for 16, and had a 74.1 QB rating. It's the first time in a while he's been under 100. That interception didn't help. And like folks have said, he looked a little off tonight, and I agree with that. He looked a little off from the beginning. I thought he was a little hyped up, but we'll see. George says this makes this postseason fun. I agree. Hey, the ability to score early, and then they've, in the last 6 games or so, the ability to make it to the fourth quarter, usually leading or around close, tied, whatever, and then turn it on. It's been they're playing a more physical game, and it seems like they've been beating, and teams just can't hang in the fourth. And that's when KOC tends to put the foot on the accelerator. Whether it's throwing the ball or as Darren put it in our tech group, the Aaron Jones drive, which was a beautiful drive. And he had some wonderful runs on that thing. Hey, Daniel Floss, SKOL. Hope you are doing well. Now, when I was speaking of Aaron Jones, he had 18 carries for 86 yards and a 4.8 yard average per carry, 1 TD. Cam Akers, 10 carries for 24 yards, 2.4. I thought he did better than that, and a 1 TD. And Ty Chandler got in there at the end with 1 carry for 4 yards. So, when it comes to passing, Justin Jefferson had a quiet 7 receptions for 73 yards, 10.4 yard average, and a touchdown. He should have had 2, but he dropped it. That was a quick mental mistake by him. That's what I said. The whole team felt a little off tonight. We've done a great job staying focused on one game at a time. Yes, we have, John. Yes, we have. Freddie says wide receiver depth making some plays tonight. Yes, they did. And Big says Jones needs to be re-signed. I'm for it. I can deal with that. Absolutely. Daniel, next week, Aaron Jones gets 1,000 yards rushing. He should. He needed 108 today to do it. I think it was 106, 108 yards to do it, and he didn't get it. But, hey, he should get it next week. Now, I'm going to bring in my partner in crime, the one and only, who had a show right before this one, Tyler Fornes, the real Forno. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, great to see a Vikings win. A lot to be really excited about, a lot to be concerned about. This was an ugly NFC North game. I would expect we're going to have at least 2 more of these by the end of the season. And there was some interesting things out there tonight. What are your overall thoughts? Because I'm not quite sure where I want to go with this.
What about tonight's game? That it was teams seemed a little bit off. There was a whole bunch of self-inflicted garbage. The offensive line being a big culprit in that, and they didn't look great at all across the board. However, I checked out the PFF live scoring, and it had, I just don't believe it. It's just,
I will say some of the live scoring has varied significantly from the final data. So it's, okay. I like using it for like snap counts and kind of get a gauge, but I've seen like Grenard have 2 pressures and finish with 5. So I'm not too worried about it.
It's
looks like the Raiders finally blew the game, which that game was so ugly. I almost wanted to turn it off of one of my 3 televisions. It was so bad. I almost put on Dave. What do you over like Christmas time? Do you ever do like the Yule log where you just have the fireplace on your TV?
Yes.
I almost put that on instead. It was so bad. Yeah, just a lot of, like you said, the self-inflicted stuff. I'm really intrigued to kind of watch the All-22 and try and figure out why Darnold was so inaccurate tonight. There are a lot of theories going around. I think some of it was he was not comfortable in the pocket with how the Bears were collapsing it. I think some of it was he hit his hand on a helmet again. And I think he was pressing a little bit. I like there's a combination of that's the right answer. Maybe there's another variable in there that I'm missing, but he was off, but it wasn't off in a way that we've seen before, where we've seen him be off and he's throwing the ball to the other team. He's just barely missing. It was really weird how he was missing because it was uncharacteristic of what he's shown so far this season. But it wasn't a disaster. He didn't have a bad game. There were just a lot of potential yards and points left on the table because he was playing an uncharacteristic brand of football. Now, you can look at that in two ways. One, it was bad because this game could have probably been 45-12. Right. Or you can look at it in the other way. Well, Darnold's not going to do this every single week. There were points available that they could get, and he would have been able to take advantage of some of those, and moving forward, we'll be able to do that. So you can look at it in either one of those ways, and I think the answer is kind of somewhere in the middle. I don't think it's either extreme, but I do think that there is going to be more opportunities for the Vikings to take advantage. But I'm a little worried next week going and facing that Seattle Seahawks team with how the Bears were able to generate pressure this week. Look, major credit to the Bears defense. Mm-hmm. Oh, that Seattle defensive line is gnarly. It's Leonard Williams is playing like a monster right now. But credit to Chicago's defense. They came to play. They were creative in how they pressured Darnold. They were sending overload blitzes so the Vikings couldn't block everybody. They did a great job of mitigating this passing game, and they deserve a ton of credit for that. Mm-hmm. I thought Kevin O'Connell was creative in his play calling at times. That 3rd and 14 throw to Aaron Jones, that was almost a carbon copy of what they did with that Nick Mullins throw 3 weeks ago against the Bears. Slightly different, but that's where the illusion of complexity comes into play. Not really too much of a surprise.
That's why I asked, Darnold losing confidence in his O-line?
Maybe. It's going to be way easier to go back and watch it. Because when you watch live, you're trying to absorb so many things, and you can't actually see like the all-22 version, mm-hmm. which is going to kind of tell you some of those things. You can see little nuances with the body language. What I mean by that is how they're acting. You can kind of sense panic in the pocket. You can sense if they're, with Darnold, it's seeing ghosts. You can sense that kind of stuff. Right now, no real issues. Like, I'm very intrigued to kind of see what manifests itself when I do watch the tape. And this is why we watch the tape, because we don't want to form a concrete opinion based strictly on what we had going on the game broadcast, because there's so much that we just don't know. We're going to learn almost all of that when we do watch the tape. So I'm really, really excited to kind of look through that and see how things operated, see how things look. And that's going to tell us a lot about what happened here tonight. But they won an ugly football game. Well, they deserve a lot of credit for that.
I thought from the very first drive with Darnold, I thought he was a little off. And I thought he was a little jacked. And I told Darren, they probably needed to, on the next drive, throw him a few pitch and catch type stuff over the middle, something easy, get him back in the rhythm, calm down. Well, and it was about that time that he got his pinky hit again. And I think he dealt with that the rest of the game. But it was, I think, part of the issue was the line collapsing at times, and he was rushing it or zinging it or however you want to describe it. But nobody lost their cool. That's what I like. Freedom Thinker, we won by 3 scores. Nobody lost their cool tonight and, absolutely panicked. They kept it going, which was smart, and they kept at it, and they outplayed the Bears. Even with all the self-inflicted gunshot wounds, they still outplayed the Bears. I think this is one of those games you could chalk up, well, it's a bad game for everybody. They might have had a bad pregame meal or whatever, and it will revert back to what we saw like last week, where everything seems to be singing and on schedule. So we'll see. It is, what it is. Freedom Thinkers thought it was one of the best defensive performances of the month. I do believe there was times when the defense did play well. Quite a few times. Didn't break. They, stopped them on fourth downs. But there's also other times they, get to third and long and then boom, first down, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
John says he thinks Sam is more composed now as a quarterback. I would say definitely since Jets days.
On an overall level, absolutely. Today felt like a little bit of a regression in that, but the way I kind of look at it, one game, okay. 2 games, now we got him on this. 3 games, that's a trend. That's a real trend. Now you're starting to talk about this is just the reality of the situation. So I'm going to let the tape tell me what to think. And that's kind of how we always approach it. Let the tape and data tell you what to think, interpret it based on your intelligence and knowledge, and go from there.
Mm-hmm.
I did want to shout out a couple of things. One, Dallas Turner smoked Darnold right with a ghost move.
Yes.
Just smoked it. If for those of you that don't know what a ghost move is when you are attacking the offensive lineman, but then instead of like using your hands, you just dip your whole body underneath the shoulder, and like you'll do that, but oftentimes it's a dip and rip where you'll lift the arm up to like lift them up, and that's when offensive linemen can't get called for holding. Right. Because their arm is being moved. So he does a ghost move, and that kind of bend is rare. That's why they took Dallas Turner. That and the versatility element, because look, this is how Brian Flores wants to run his defense. The versatility is a big deal for him. It's going to be a big deal here moving forward. So I thought that was really interesting. I did love that when they were up 3 scores, even though there was like 8 minutes left in the game, they were playing backups. They were getting guys real reps, playing real defenses in real situations. I mean, it was garbage time, but there was enough time left where it wasn't like real garbage time. It was just garbage time.
Well, we were already up 90+% win rate at that point in time.
If they would have gotten a quick score, you could have been like, okay, you get a score. There's 8 minutes left. You're down 2 scores. Okay, we have a game here. Mm-hmm. So they were getting some legit playing time, and they played well. They did allow a touchdown, but they extended it out to 4th down. And Bo Richter was in there. Dallas Turner was getting reps. Dwight McGlothern was getting reps. Jalen Redmond was getting more reps, which is awesome to see. Like, this is what's going to help you win games in the playoffs, because the more real reps that these guys can get, when they have to go in the game, guess what? They're going to be more ready, and they're going to have seen things, and they're going to have ran some of these defenses. I love that. The Vikings are high on Bo Richter. He's kind of a weird player. He's got really short arms, very explosive, tall, got some muscles, but also, one of the interesting things about Richter, he played inside linebacker, off ball, and on ball edge rusher at Air Force. Much better at edge rusher, but he has that versatility that we've talked about. So I find that really intriguing. Like, this is a team that has a lot of interesting pieces in the depth areas. Now, will they be good? I don't know. But you can see a vision. You can see why that they have these guys. You can see that there's intent and thought behind why they brought some of these players in. And that is, I think, what's the really exciting part. I thought Dwight McGlothern did really nice. They tried running a double move on him. He didn't bite one bit. He knew exactly what they were doing because they had tried running double moves in that part of the red zone in the first matchup, and they had tried it a couple times earlier in the game. McLaughlin was not phased one bit. Not one bit. I think that those little things are going to help a lot. Now, if Gilmore ends up being out for a couple more weeks, maybe McLaughlin gets a little bit of playing time. Maybe he gets like a series against Seattle, and then see what he does. In training camp, he got reps against the ones, and his first play, he got a PBU. Like, the reason why they put you against the ones, it's twofold. One, they'll put you against the ones because you earned it because you've been playing really well. But two, it's like, okay, you've been playing really well. Now go up against the big dogs. Let's see what happens. Let's see how you handle yourself. Let's see how composed you are. Let's see if you are still the same player. And you know what, he was. And I think stuff like that is why guys make the team, because you're showing something. You're showing ability. You're showing that kind of nuance. And I really appreciated that. And I'm excited to kind of see what ends up happening with him down the line. Maybe he's somebody that they try to really build on and they give him an opportunity for real playing time next year in that cornerback room. It's a non-zero chance considering where this cornerback room is right now. They have two players under contract next year. Dwight McLaughlin and Mekhi Blackman, who's still recovering from a torn ACL. That's it. That's it. So I'm intrigued. I will say, very disappointed with the offensive line performance tonight. I don't know how disappointed I'm going to end up being, but I thought Blake Brandel had a rough night. I thought Dalton Reisner had a little bit of a tough night. He did get have a couple run blocks that were pretty nice in the middle of the game that kind of helped spring Aaron Jones for some decent gains. Cam Robinson needs to get that where he's lining up fixed. Not having Brian O'Neill hindered a little bit, but David Quessenberry, like, you're not going to find a much better of a swing tackle for the price. Like, Quessenberry is okay. You're going to have to help him, but that's every third tackle in the National Football League. He is capable enough as that third guy where I feel comfortable if he needs to come in and play 15, 20 snaps, it's not going to be a disaster. And I thought he was about replacement level, which is what you expect from a guy like Quessenberry. And I thought in that sense, he was good. I'm worried about Brandel long-term a little bit. I know I'm not the guy to bring this up because I've been the one who's railing against the Dalton Reisner, like putting him in the starting lineup, but I'm curious why the communication has gone to utter crap since Dalton Reisner came in. And that's a Blake Brandel problem more than a Dalton Reisner problem. But it's been since that point that we've had these issues.
Right.
So I'm not going to put blame on anybody because I don't know, but why are we having issues with Brandel and Bradbury when Reisner got in the game? Why weren't those happening with Ingram in the game? And it's likely that it has nothing to do with Ingram or Reisner. I'm just very interested in why.
What the chemistry change was that caused it.
Yeah, but theoretically, though, Dave, like, you're the offensive line guy, so let's kind of go into this, because if Bradbury and Brandel are having the communication issues, why would it matter who's at right guard? Because right now, the way I'm looking at things, that's the variable. Because they were fine with when Cam Robinson came in. It was only after Ingram left.
Because they sometimes work as a group, where they'll go right or left as a group, where the three of them will block two, and they shade type of stuff. You replace one of them, and suddenly the rules aren't always there. They're not perfectly in sync. They don't know that, a little tap with the hand on the shoulder means I'm good, go, or whatever. Some of that sort of subliminal, trained time, working together, communication leaves when a new guy has to come in.
Okay.
Footwork.
Interesting.
How guys step is different. It's all, hey, I'm not used to you doing this and taking shorter steps. Now I got to adjust my steps so that we're in line. Things like that can can throw it off. Now, I keep hearing Dalton says Metellus, and there's been quite a few of Metellus. Metellus had a great game today. Absolutely great. Mm-hmm. He was all over the place. And the fact that he's learning inside linebacker, the Ivan Pace role, and getting better at it. I saw him bull rush the center of the Bears. Now, the Bears center is horrible, like we talked about in the pregame show. But to get bull rushed by Josh Metellus? Really? The dude should hang up his jockstrap afterwards. I'd be embarrassed if I were him. But speaking of bull rushes, Bradbury got bull rushed today, but we expected that. Due to the level of competition. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to changing out alignment, it could be as simple as that. It's just a simple, either subliminal ESP type communication or verbal touch, whatever, step, footwork. You're not online. Quisenberry lined up a little bit back. I thought he was going to be called for being illegal formation. There's certain things that got to go into it. When an offensive line plays well together, they see each other in their peripheral vision. Everything works. It's a sweet thing, and it hasn't. And my camera just shut off. Cool. Wake up, Tiny.
You know what? That's exactly what happened to mine. So
it is what it is.
Yeah. Couple things I want to get into, and then I think we'll probably end up calling this at some point here because it's almost 11 o'clock on a Monday night. Thank you guys. There's 61 of you with us right now, and we greatly appreciate it. If you guys are watching or listening the next morning, we appreciate you just the same. So one thing that I got really frustrated with during the game was Kevin O'Connell's play calling. And I love Kevin O'Connell as a play caller. The one thing that really bugs me is that he has a tendency to completely forget he can run the football. And sometimes that does not matter because he is a really creative and good play caller when it comes to getting people open in the passing game and creating opportunities for downfield shots. He's phenomenal at that. And there's very few people better than him at being able to generate those kind of explosive plays. But this is one of the worst rush defenses in the National Football League with one of their starting defensive tackles out. Why are you not spamming duo? Why are we not just trying to bully up front? Now, he kind of figured it out in the third quarter when you realize, hey, Darnold is not having a game. Let's run the football. Oh, hey, we're getting like 8 yards a carry. This is great. That was a little frustrating that he wasn't really willing to do that he was doing way less of running the football than he probably should have been. Is it the end of the world? No, it's never the end of the world. But they could have done a lot more. They could have been more explosive. They could have potentially put up more points. And I just wish that he wouldn't forget to run the football. It's been a trend over 3 years. Now, it's been less of an issue this year. One, because the downfield shots are working, and two, because you have Aaron Jones. And they have fed Aaron Jones plenty. Mm-hmm. But it's something I would like to see tightened up. And I think if they're going to really make a run in the postseason, he's got to tighten it up now. The good part is they're probably not going to have to play any cold weather games. Unless they have to go to Philadelphia.
Well, and hopefully we'll have home field advantage and it won't matter.
Yeah. But that was one thing that really bugged me. Did you know, Dave, that Blake Cashman is an edge rusher?
No.
No, he's not an edge rusher, but Troy Aikman called him that all game. The 5 edge rusher package.
Right.
That was Blake Cashman and the 4 edge rushers. Yeah.
Or NASCAR.
Just funny. Yeah, look, I think the biggest takeaway here is that the Minnesota Vikings have found a way 2 weeks in a row to put teams away in the fourth quarter and not let them get back into the game. Something that has hindered them over the course of the last decade?
Yes.
So this is a really good development that we have seen multiple times this season where the Vikings have put teams away and have won by more than 2 scores. Or even won by 2 scores. Like, this is great. This is awesome to see. And 12-2 in the rebuild year. Kwesi Ofamensa, Executive of the Year. Speak it into existence because it's what it should be.
It should be, without a doubt. And KOC should be up there for Coach of the Year. Whether he gets it or not, that's a different story. But he should be one of the candidates, one of the top candidates.
Mm-hmm.
And Big says, and Philadelphia is going to beat Detroit in the playoffs. And we may never see him after that. Could be. Could be. Except for Philly scares me more right now than Detroit does.
Philly doesn't scare me that much.
Well,
I don't know.
Neither one of them do. I think we can beat both of them, but I'm just saying.
You know what Philly reminds me of, Dave? And you will know this. The 1993 Houston Oilers. Started out a little rough. That Oilers team started out 1-3 or 1-4 actually, and then they finished 12-4. And they lost in the divisional round of the playoffs because there was a bunch of infighting, a bunch of issues with like the coaching staff and the players. It just got real ugly. That team should have won a Super Bowl. It's a shame that it didn't. But it reminds me of that because there's just a lack. It feels like a lack of chemistry. Like there's drama. Maybe not quite to that degree, but man, if there was social media and then in 1993, holy crap, we would have unearthed some real shit. But
me too, Daniel. Me too.
Yeah, it's we're the Vikings are in a good spot, and I think that we should be very happy about it. We should be excited. Look, the Vikings are 12-2. Even if they're the 5th seed, you're 12-2. Like, you did pretty much everything that you could other than hold firm against the Lions at the end of a game when they were blatantly a top 2 or 3 team in football. Like, you can't really be too mad at that. Vikings have a 5-game winning streak and a 7-game winning streak. That rules.
Yes, it does. Hey, what's that make KOC's record now?
KOC and Kevin O'Connell have now won 2 out of every 3 games that they've played in. They are 32-16.
Hey, it's great. He's the
incredible,
quickest, winningest coach in Vikings history.
Yep. Incredible.
Yes, like you said. I am
Dave, anything else you got?
Other than I'm trying to open up my Ozbot controller and can't find it. It's buried under tabs. Device is sleeping. No kidding. There we go.
I've done that before.
It is it is what it is. Now I go back to it. There we go. Now I look a little clearer, more beautiful. No, I thought it was a gut check almost game because they were off all night. They were off. And whether it was the time change or whatever it was, playing on Monday, they just seemed off. But they stuck to it and they kept plugging. They never stopped. They never failed. Even with injuries, whether it be to O'Neal or whomever, they never stopped. They kept at it. And again, like I said, they tend to dominate now in the fourth quarter, which is awesome. And it should be, I think we're doing well. I don't think this is probably the worst game of the last 4. Now, we may have closer scores, but I'm betting this is the worst they play as a whole, barring any major injuries. I think this is it, because this one felt strange. And as Freedom Thinker says, Bears games are always weird, and they are. But we weren't trapped. We won it convincingly. I said 2 full scores, and it was what? 18 points. I was a little low. Sorry. But that's good. Hey, since we already did the Real 4-0 tonight, Sal will have a Victory Tuesday show tomorrow night. Tomorrow night. We're not quite into Tuesday yet. Yep. Wednesday, what are you going to be talking about? Previewing the Seattle Sea Chickens game?
Yep, we're going to be doing the Seattle Seahawks. This Seahawks game is going to be weird. Oh, I will be going over the tape as soon as I get it tomorrow and kind of diving in and trying to figure out little nuances, little details. I'm going to be looking a lot at Sam Darnold. I'm going to be looking a lot at how the Vikings attacked Caleb Williams. And if the Vikings have to play Geno Smith hurt his knee. I believe it's a sprained MCL. I don't know if that has been confirmed or not, but it's a sprained knee is kind of what they're talking about. And it's like a week-to-week kind of thing. So that's going to hinder his movement ability. And if not, it's Sam Howell, who was atrocious in relief on Sunday night against the Packers.
That's your boy?
No, Jaren Hall is not the backup quarterback. They traded actually decent capital to get Sam Howell. They traded a 3rd and a 5th and got Howell back with a 4th and a 6th. So basically they just swapped 3rd rounder for a 4th rounder and a 5th rounder for a 6th rounder, which, I mean, that's still a significant movement with your picks. So, yeah, I'm really
fails and Geno can't go. You might see Jaren Hall by the end of the game.
I love Jaren Hall. It would hurt me to see him play against the Vikings, but it'd be cool to see him play.
Mm-hmm. So. And Bleeding Purple, one last bit, says 84 for Moss Cancer. I thought it was brilliant today that Chris Carter and Jake Reed went out there with his jersey at the coin flip. That was a great really tribute. Cool. And then Justin Jefferson, when he caught his first touchdown, yelled, "This one's for you, Randy." And then Randy replied via Twitter, #Let's Moss Cancer.
Yeah.
Gotta love it. Well, folks, that's it for today. Enjoy another victory. We're 12-2. Count them. 12-2. If we win next week, we'll double Vegas's win projections. With that, any last words there, Tyler?
12-2. Enjoy it. It's a fun ass season. Enjoy it.
Yes.
3 more games to the NFC North. 3 more games.
Yes. Win 3 more. And not only win the North, we have a good chance of winning the NFC. So with that, what do we say?
SKOL Vikings.
SKOL Vikings, and thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and ring the bell, and share this episode with your friends and even your enemies. We'd love it. Thanks for watching Vikings First and SKOL. We are part of the Fans First Sports Network, and we appreciate each and every one of you. SKOL.